Hey guys, this is Sidra. Welcome to my YouTube channel Educate with Sidra. In this video, we are covering the chapter number 6, that is bonding and structure. So here we will discuss the ionic bonding in this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon. So let's start the video. So first we discuss about the forming bonds. In the forming bonds, there are two electrons. We are discussing the valence electron and the core electrons. The valence electron and the core electron. What is valence electron? Valence electron is basically it exists, these are the electron in the outermost shell. In the outermost shell and is involved in bonding. And these electrons involved in bonding and chemical properties and chemical processes. Okay, and the core electrons. These are the electrons except the valence electron. Electron except valence electron are basically the core electron. They played no part in the chemical reaction. Okay. They play no part in the chemical reaction. Okay. Bonds basically are two types. It can be an ionic bond. It can be covalent bond. Okay, metallic bond we discuss in the later. Okay, there are two main important bonds, ionic bond and covalent bond. Ionic bond basically are the transfer of electrons. Like it can be transfer of electron means by gaining electron or by losing electron. And the covalent bond means sharing of electron. Okay. So, two types of bonds, ionic, covalent. Ionic is the transfer of electron and covalent is the sharing of electron. Now the ionic bonding. What is ionic bonding? It is the strong electrostatic forces of attraction between positive and negative ions. Okay. What is ionization? It is basically to attain the noble gas configuration. We have already studied the noble gas configuration, duplet or octet, right? So, to attain the noble gas configuration, elements gain or lose electron and form ions. Okay, so this is all about the ionization. Example is magnesium chloride and magnesium bromide. Compounds that contain ionic bond are called ionic compounds. Okay, right, ionic bonding example, we are having the example is magnesium chloride, magnesium bromide. Okay, these are all the examples. So, compound that contain the ionic bond are called ionic compound. For example, sodium react with the chlorine. Okay. For example, sodium react with the chlorine and so it form the ionic compound NaCl. So, this is the ionic compound. Okay. So, this is an ionic compound. Electronic. This is a dot and cross diagram represent the electron of one atom and cross represent the electron of other atom. So if we are taking the dot for the sodium and we are taking cross for the chlorine. Okay. So the electrons basically sodium has 11 electron. So the electronic configuration will become 281 and for the chlorine atom it will become 287. Okay. It will lose one electron and form cation. And the chlorine will gain one electron, so it will form an anion. Always remember this thing, cation is always positive ion and anion is always negative ion. Okay. So, okay, let's make orbit in nucleus. 2 electron in the first shell, 8 electron in the second shell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1 electron in the outermost shell. Okay. Now, we are taking, this is for sodium. Now for chlorine. Chlorine, this is a nucleus, 2 electron in the first orbit, 8 electron in the second orbit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 7 electron in the outermost shell. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, now what will happen, the sodium, this is for chlorine. Okay, the sodium will will lose one electron, and the chlorine will gain one electron. Okay, so what will it become? Na plus and Cl minus. Okay, this is, I'm making another diagram. 1 2, sodium will become 2 8. Okay, it will complete the outer 2 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So it will, what will it become? It will become Na plus. Okay, the whole, it will become an ion, Na plus. And what about the chlorine? It will become negative, as Cl minus. It will become 2 8 8 electronic configuration. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 again, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now it's the duplet. So this is Na plus and this is Cl minus. It's forming an ionic bond. This is an ionic bond. Okay, so this is an example of sodium atom and chlorine atom. Now we have studied the example of sodium atom and chlorine atom. Okay, now take an example of magnesium and chlorine atom. Magnesium, you know this thing, if we are taking magnesium and chlorine, so magnesium react with chlorine atom, MgCl2, it will become MgCl2. Okay, so let's start. Magnesium has the electronic configuration of 282 and chlorine atom has the electronic configuration of 287. Okay, 287 chlorine. This is about chlorine atom. Okay, here we have two electrons of two molecules of chlorine, but we are taking the electronic configuration of an atom. Okay, 287. Now the MgCl2. MgCl2 is basically the Cl minus, Mg plus and Cl minus. It's like that. The electronic configuration is 288. And how it will become? Because it will lose 2 electron. It will lose 2 electron. This, so the electronic configuration will become 2 8, and chlorine basically having the 2 atom, right? So like 2 is 7 and 2 is 7. There are 2 atoms of chlorine. So one electron will be gained by this 7, and the another will be gained by this. So there will be 2 electron gained by chlorine, right? So the electronic configuration again become 288. Okay, 28 for the magnesium, and another 2 electron gained by the Cl. Okay, so this is all about the magnesium and chlorine, magnesium chloride. I hope you understand this thing, that it is having magnesium having 2 electron in the outermost shell. It is reacting with the 2 chlorines, not the 1 chlorine. Okay, so 1 electron will be gained by the 1 chlorine, and the another electron will be gained by the another chlorine, because there are 2 atoms of chlorine. Okay, so remember this thing. So this is all about the dot and cross diagram, right? I'm writing here, and now we are discussing the equations. Sodium plus and 2 electrons lose, right? So chlorine plus 2 electron will become 2 Cl minus. Okay, so what will happen? 2 Na plus Cl2, okay, plus 2 electrons, and 2 Na plus 2 Cl negative plus 2 electrons. Okay, so these will cancel out. Okay, so what is the result? 2 Na plus Cl2 will give you 2 Na plus and 2 Cl minus. So this is basically the reaction between sodium and chlorine, because chlorine exists as a molecule. Okay, right? And another example, and so this is about the sodium and chlorine equation. Now the electronic configuration of 2 8 elements. The electronic configuration of 2 8 elements, they are nitrogen, that is 3 minus, oxygen 2 minus. Okay, these are ions, fluoride 1 F minus, neon having no sign because this is a noble gas. Sodium is sodium plus, magnesium is 2 plus, aluminium is 3 plus. Nitrides, obviously these are the examples of electronic configuration of 2-8 configuration, and phosphorus 3 minus. So this is all about the more electron involved, the more difficult it will, and the more to form bonding, okay, to form ions. Okay, the more electron involved, more difficult it is, and to form ions, right? Now the chemical formula of ionic compound. Let's take X and this. Okay, so that this will become here and this will come here. Okay, now confused? Okay, let's take an example. I will explain you. This is you can memorize this thing what I have written over. Okay, example is aluminium oxide. Okay, the ion present are aluminium and oxygen. Okay, so aluminium is basically 3 plus and oxygen is basically the 2 minus. Stick, right? Aluminium is basically 3 plus and oxygen is basically 2 minus. This is the ion having completed the outermost shell, okay, having completed their octet. Okay, now the formula, how we will achieve the formula, right? Just think about it. So now look over here. This is aluminium, this is oxygen, right? Now write aluminium again here and oxygen again here. Okay, this the 2 minus, the 2 will come here, the opposite side, and the 3 will become here. So that will become Al2O3. That will be the aluminium oxide. Right? So this is all about the chemical formula of ionic compound. Now another example is copper 2 hydroxide. Copper 2 like copper 2 plus and hydroxide this is OH minus. So what will it become? Guesses? Any guesses? The copper and hydroxide here. So it is minus 1 basically. So 1 will come here. So this is 1. We are not writing 1 here obviously. And the 2 plus, that is 2 is coming this side for the whole OH. That will become here. CuOH whole twice. That will be the formula of the ionic compound of copper hydroxide. Calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is Ca2 plus and carbonate is 2 minus. These are all the valencies, okay. So calcium carbonate, what will happen to the calcium carbonate? It will become CaCO3. Why is not Ca2 and CO3 and whole twice? Why is not this thing? Why? Just guesses. Because this is 2 plus and this is 2 minus. These will cancel out each other, right? So we are not writing Ca2 CO3 whole twice. This is cross, okay? These or valencies cancel out each other so that the formula will become CaCO3, okay? Magnesium oxide, magnesium is basically Mg2 plus and oxygen is 2 minus. So what will be the formula? That will be the MgO, not Mg2O2, okay? Ammonium sulfate. Ammonium is NH4 plus and sulfate is basically 2 minus. So what will happen? It will be the NH4 whole twice and sulfate, this is 1 because the valency of ammonium is plus 1, okay? Why it will become whole twice? Because this is for the whole ammonium. So the 2 will go to the whole ammonium, okay? Do not only multiply the 2 with the hydrogen, okay? So this is all about the chemical formula of ionic compound. I hope these are so much examples over here so you can easily understand this topic, okay? Now the ionic structure. In ionic compounds, ions do not exist separately. They form regular arrangement of cation and anions called crystal lattice, or we can say the joint lattice structure. The ions are packed in a regular and repeating pattern. A giant lattice structure is a 3D network of ions. For example, NaCl. NaCl is basically the ionic compound. NaCl is basically the ionic compound, okay? Now, the ionic structure, how can we deduce the formula of NaCl from its lattice structure? So, let's see the example. The red one is sodium. Sodium is connected to is surrounded by 6 chlorine. In the diagram, you can see this thing that the sodium ion is surrounded by 6 chloride ions. Okay, so and vice versa. So, we can say this thing, what will be the formula of sodium and chlorine, NaCl. How will you determine the ratio? You have to determine the ratio of sodium ion to chloride ions in the formula unit, okay? The overall ratio, because 6 sodium ion, each sodium ion connected to the 6 chloride ion, so the ratio will be the 6:6. That will be 1:1. Okay, so what will be the formula from the lattice structure? That is with the NaCl is the formula of sodium chloride. So we are deducing the formula of NaCl from its lattice structure. Okay. Now the physical properties of ionic compound. Melting point and boiling point. Okay, generally ionic compounds have a high melting and high boiling point. High melting point and high boiling point. Because in the ionic compounds, forces of attraction between the oppositely charged ions are strong, so a large amount of heat energy is needed to melt or to boil these compounds. Okay, so the reason is of high melting and high boiling point is the forces of attraction between the oppositely charged ion. Between the positively charged ion are strong. So a large amount of heat energy is needed to melt or to boil these compounds. Due to the high melting and boiling point, mostly ionic compounds are solid. Mostly ionic compounds are solid at room temperature and pressure. So we say that ionic compounds are non-volatile. Okay, let's take example like calcium chloride, that is CaCl2. Its melting point is 782 degrees centigrade and boiling point is 1600 degrees centigrade. And NaCl, the melting point of NaCl is 801 degrees centigrade and the boiling point is 1413 degrees centigrade. And magnesium oxide MgO, the melting point is 2852 degrees centigrade and the boiling point is 3600 degrees centigrade. So just imagine how high the melting point and how high the boiling point of ionic compounds. You can see this here. Right, so ionic compounds have high melting and boiling point, and because of this reason, mostly ionic compounds are solid at room temperature and pressure. Because of the high force of attraction between the ions are so strong, so heat energy is needed to melt. A large amount of heat energy is needed to melt or to boil these compounds, right? So this is all about the melting and boiling point. Now the second property of the ionic compound is conduct electricity. They conduct electricity when in molten or in aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means dissolved in water, right? So because anion and cation both can move, right? Ions conduct electricity. We are saying ions conduct electricity but not the electrons. So remember this thing, okay? When solid, it will not conduct electricity. It will only conduct electricity in the molten or in aqueous solution. In solid, no, not conduct electricity because the ions are not free to move. In the solid, you know this thing, ions are not free to move, so not conduct electricity. In the molten and in the aqueous solutions, ion can easily move, so it will conduct electricity, right? Let's take example. This is basically the just an example for testing, okay? Let's see the test. This is the beaker having the test substances. This is the carbon electrode. This is the carbon electrode again. right? So if the substance, this is a substance is liquid, right? So it is conducting electricity. Look, the bulb is switched on, and in the solid, this is a solid, right? So the bulb is switched off, right? So this is the test basically for checking if, either it is conducting electricity in solid or liquid or in melted state, right? So in solid, no, there is no conduction of electricity. Okay. And if we take the example of sodium chloride solution, in the sodium chloride solution, if you are taking as in this just imagine test substance is sodium chloride, so the light bulbs up, and when it is sodium chloride solid, then the light does not lighten up. Okay, right? And these are the carbon electrode. These are the pair of electrodes is placed in the beaker. Okay. So basically this process is we call electrolysis. Anyway, now next is the property is the physical property of ionic compound is solubility. Solubility basically ionic compound generally is soluble in water. Okay. Ionic compound generally soluble in water, because the solubility in water does not prove that unknown compound is ionic. Because some ionic compound like silver chloride, barium sulfate, calcium carbonate are insoluble in water, right? So we can take the solubility in water. Except water, we can take any other compound as well, right? Water is basically the polar solvent, okay, and methyl benzene and tetrachloromethane, they are non-polar solvent. Okay. Non-ionic compounds, or you can say the covalent compound glucose, are very soluble in water, right? Non-ionic compound means covalent compounds are like glucose, they are soluble in water, right? So we discuss the solubility, that ionic compound generally soluble in water, but the solubility in water does not prove this thing that the unknown compound is ionic. Okay, because some ionic compounds, as I already told you, that silver chloride and many other like calcium carbonate, they are insoluble in water. So we cannot, but I can say the ionic compounds are insoluble in organic solvent, right? They are insoluble in organic solvent like oil, petrol, like this, right? Ionic compounds are usually soluble in water. This is because water molecules can separate the positive ions from the negative ions, causing them to dissolve, right? Here is an example of solid sodium chloride. When it dissolves in water, look, this is the water molecule, this is Na plus, and this is the water molecule, this is Cl minus. So this is the sodium chloride solution, right? So we can say they are usually soluble in water. Ionic compounds, you can check this thing, the solubility in water: calcium chloride, potassium nitrate, magnesium sulfate, they all are soluble in water, and in the oil they are insoluble. Okay. Now, thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel, like the video and comment.